What's going on with the family out there? It's your boy G Conscious in the building. Got something for y'all today. What's going on with the family out there? It's your boy G Conscious.
True one. I believe that it has been revealed to me through a dream and also revelation. This public announcement, and it's very unfortunate. It's very sad, but however, it's true. And it may not be true, but I have very strong evidence and revelation that it is going to be true. And that is Mikael Edwards of the Hebrew War Machine will no longer be with us within 6 months. Yes. Unfortunately, he has crossed the line, so to say, in terms of his actions in the universe is built upon Ma'at. Is going to balance itself out and remove him from amongst the people. And it can't be stopped now, even by any regular human force. And I'm not saying I will have anything to do with this, nor am I celebrating his death. But unfortunately, the brother has brought it on himself. He has not studied the wisdom in the book that he studies. Unfortunately, Michael Edwards of the Hebrew War Machine will meet his death in the next 6 months. I will have nothing to do with this. Unfortunately, he has disrupted some forces and people who can't be stopped. Human and inhuman. This goes beyond the regular people he has defended. There's others that have not taken a liking to what he's doing. And also the universal force of balance has decreed this upon him. And this is kind of like, just to give a short early eulogy, I think the brother did have a lot of mental issues. He was dealing with some things that's beyond our knowledge of knowing. But I think he, at some point, did believe he might have been doing the right thing. But because of misinterpretation, along with whatever else affected this brother, he turned out to be a very sick man who dug his own grave. So if you are someone who is close to him or likes him or has some camaraderie with him, I would get to know him very well within the last 6 months, speak to him as much as you can, converse with him and enjoy the last 6 months of his life on earth, because he is not going to be around. Now, there's another person named LaRon Campbell, who I've been informed by the high priestess. She was unhappy with some of his actions. There was nothing I could do about it, but there's been a curse placed on LaRon Campbell. He has endangered his family, his wives and children. Within the next year or so, this man and his family will begin to suffer very unfortunate situations. Him, his wives, and his children will continuously begin to suffer from illness, financial loss, freak accidents, things, just everything to make his life uncomfortable. His wife is going to be involved in, other affairs within the next year. Now, I had nothing to do with this curse. Now, I can't really say anything about this. I was just contacted after the brother was going through, disrespecting me often, You know, I was having, you know, I kind of rubbed him off. You know what I'm saying? Although he was crossing the line. So, you know, this is others who've contacted me. You know, these are high-ranking priest and priestess of, you know, the voodoo tradition. You know, so this is what they tell me. So this is, you know, I had nothing to really do with this. I did not try to stop them either, but they told me this is what they was going to do. And the only way that LeRon, and also those who were associated with him in his disrespect, you know, they have their images and voices, and they've captured them all, and they're also going to suffer the same fate as LeRon Campbell, such as Alvin, that guy who's associated with him, the little guy Wayne who took part in the video, the dude Kevin who calls himself Yahweh, his family, his children, his wife will also suffer this within the next year, and everyone who took part in, unfortunately, under LeRon Campbell's umbrella. Now, this is what they tell me. Once these things start happening, the only way you'll be able to get out of this is if you publicly apologize, and each one of you will have to pay me at least $1,000 to break this curse. Now, it may sound crazy. Like I said, I didn't do it. I didn't put it together. But, you know, these people that spoke to me don't seem like they're a joke. They're not like your, you know, people on television that you see. Some of you know how these things work and how things work in the spiritual world. So what I suggest is that y'all better be filled with the Holy Spirit that you say. Because if you're slipping, man, y'all are in trouble, man. And there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about the inevitable death of Michael Edwards within the next 6 months. There's nothing I can do about LeRon Campbell's, Kevin, Wayne, and Alvin's, and also Basim. I almost forgot that your families.
You ain't forget Basim, huh?
The close one would be affected. That I had nothing to do with that. You know, that's something that, you know, I guess you'll have to deal with in the spiritual realm. You know, say your prayers, but this is what I've been informed. So, you know, you can either take your chances and believe, I hope you know, get right, because obviously y'all have not been living pure, so you might not have the protection you think you have. But either way, the way this stuff's worked, y'all are ignorant of it, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so you can either pay the $1,000 and make it a public apology, or you can take that fight on. But remember, that fight is not with me. You know, these are some very powerful people. Everything you fear is what they are, and they have put it on you. Your pictures are on the internet, your voices, these are pieces of your soul. So, fortunately, you know, I had to just make that announcement, because if some of the stuff comes true, obviously, then you'll know it wasn't lies. I have nothing to, my hands have personally done none of this stuff. This is all, you know, in terms of Michael Edwards, there's both sides. He's interrupted certain spiritual forces. He's spoken against certain people that have a lot of ties to other people, physically and spiritually. And so, you know, unfortunately, I don't think there's no chance for him. But in terms of LeRon Campbell, Kevin, Alvin, Basim, and Wayne, and others that may have been associated, you know, they may have a chance if they paid $1,000 and make the public apology. But, you know, Mike, he disrespected some of the high priests. He disrespected some people he didn't even know that just connected to, just basically, you know, street made shit. You know, he's not aware of who he's offended. So he got two sides to deal with, this horrible, the spiritual and the physical. But in terms of the other guys, you guys have a chance, you know. It's up to you in terms of how you take it. But your wives, family, and children are, you know, unfortunately got to catch some of the stuff that you caused. So good luck with that. And y'all have a nice day. And I wish you the best.
Hold on for a minute.
So y'all gotta pay money to get this. Yo, this is crazy. This is nuts. Nuts. Straight up nuts.
Hold on for a minute.
We got LeRon Campbell in the building. G Conscious.
Hold
He's
on.
still alive.
Hold on. We gotta
This
play
was
this back again. This is
They're
crazy.
also going to suffer the same fate as LeBron Campbell.
Let's put this right here. Hold on, y'all. This is crazy, yo. Hey, so if y'all don't know, I just introduced you to Lex Vortex. Oh my God! If you don't know who this brother is, this is the one of the most useless when it comes to your words and when it comes to production in the community. This brother has none of that. This brother has done nothing, and whatever he tried to mount up to do in the black communities has not worked. This brother has failed over and over again due to the fact of his integrity. He got bad integrity. He's not consistent with what he does. And this is him. This type of stuff right here. It makes no sense. And he's still scheming on the community. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that Soleiman will even sit back and allow this brother to speak and do classes on his panel, and this is the most goofiest, inconsistent, weakest, useless black individual that I have ever met in my life. But yet and still, God can take ashes and make this brother into something beautiful. But he won't allow it to happen. This brother will tell you so much stuff about what the Bible is, what God is, and that he has all this great knowledge, and he's so knowledgeable, and he's so well spoken. This brother has not produced anything for one to even believe his claims of this higher understanding that he has. And he's been doing this in the community over and over and over again, and he uses the Lord's name in vain, and he gets you to draw in close to him, right? Because he's talking about Jesus, right? But he uses that as a spin and busts a Dr. York on you, where he changes his whole doctrine, and now it's come to the Luciferian light. 1 minute he's darkness and 1 minute he's light. If this ain't the most inconsistent, useless with his words brother that I've ever known, everything that he has done has failed. He has no production at all. Therefore, he's useless on the assembly line. And he still choose to go against the Most High and talk crazy about the Lord and Savior. And he has this high knowledge. He's this Marcion, this Gnostic, the God of the Old Testament is evil. And then he sit back and wonder why he's in the position that he in, to where he can't get his feet solid on anything to climb up and at least get a grasp of something that he can, where he can be stable. This brother right here, man, this is Lex Vortex. This brother will have you spinning just like you see this spinning on my screen. If you listen to this brother, he'll have you spinning every which and every way in doctrine, and you'll be so dizzy, vomiting and throwing up because of this brother has a contagious sickness. And the fact that he can get on somebody's panel and teach a whole class and even go on Sinetta shows you that this brother is wicked as hell. We've seen this brother go up and down, every way, tossed to and fro with every doctrine, no consistency at all. No backbone. This brother has no stability, but I'm here to tell you now, when one really trusts in Jesus, they accomplish things, and the very things that they speak, they begin to do. This brother don't have that. Why? Because the Lord is working against such wickedness. To whatever he tries to do, it mounts up to nothing. When he put forth the Lakeisha out, it mounted up to nothing. Whatever relationship he had with any woman that he ever been with, it mounted up to nothing. Why? Because he is about nothing and he produces nothing. So therefore, his relationships go to nothing. And he still won't turn to God. This is the same brother that when Nature Boy was deceiving people and took his occultic behaviors and went out into the wilderness, Lex Vortex was trying to get his ticket and get out there right with him, knowing that Nature Boy is a known homosexual and a pedophile. Why would you even associate yourself or validate such madness with a person that is a occultic leader? This is Lex Vortex. The same brother that speaks so highly about the light of Lucifer in Isaiah 14, but is the same brother that will lead you into all darkness and strip you of every spirituality that you have and every light that you have, every salt that you have, and have you so plain and so dull and so without savor or flavor. This is Lex Vortex, the dark side, the Luciferian light, he called himself, the dark angel. See, when a person don't stand on nothing and they're driven many ways, they can't give you anything. And this is Lex Vortex. And I'm speaking the truth. I'm not speaking a lie about this brother. This brother openly said that I gave him money. I gave you money, first of all, because you can't even keep your phone on, homie. I tried to call you and your phone was off. And I asked you, did you need some help? And I gave you money to get your phone back on, son. So while you want to be telling everybody what I gave you, I never said any or never told anything about you. And anybody that ever crossed me, they crossed me first before I begin to expose those individuals. And that goes for Israel Doctrine and anybody else. I don't take from the community. I'm not asking nobody for $1,000 to get a curse up off of them when you're the one who was speaking the curse on them in the first place, Lex Vortex. This sad, sorry case of a man cannot build a household. And you'll be a fool to be you'll be a fool as a woman to be speaking to this sick-minded brother right here that can't even build a household nor a family, because every relationship that he has, he destroys it with the darkness that is within. But he wants you to listen to him, and he has all these powers. He tells you whatever you say that you can have. He trying to Dr. Umar us. We've been waiting for the school forever, Dr. Umar. And you got Lex Vortex saying that give your money to me, I'll build you this empire. And y'all sit back and you listen to it and wonder why the black community is in the position that it's in, because you got brothers that got useless words with no power. When God speaks, he brings forth power and revelation, and whatever he speaks, it come forth. And this brother been speaking too long and has not produced anything at all. No production. But he has all this power and say, if you speak it, you can receive it, you can get wealth. This brother been in so many transition homes, in and out of different women's lives, due to the fact of he wants to use them. And then he uses Solar Minds panel and uses him. And then, you know, I ain't lying, Solar Mind, because the brother got to control it in the manipulating spirit on him. Because when you talk to him, no, Solar play that, or Solar do this, or Solar do that. And he ain't contributing nothing to the panel. And when it's not his way, he out of there. Every relationship this brother had, from Solar Mind to Oh God, from Sinetta, from me and him, from Israel Doctrine, he severed every relationship. And every relationship that you see that I've had with any brother, look where they at today. The brothers who don't want to correct themselves and get themselves together. Doing the same thing, trying to get fame. That's it. He left Solar Mind and left Oh God and went over there with Sinetta just to get a piece of fame. And that's all he's been chasing, is money and fame this whole time. But he wants to paint a picture of me, though. This brother has done nothing since he's been in the community for anybody. And when he built the Lakeisha app, why would anybody even push that propaganda when you was linked up with Nature Boy, siding with him, and Nature Boy talking about touching on kids' penises? So why would I give you a link up with a Lakeisha app with a brother that's retarded and unstable, where he can locate my family and my kids and have access to them with his crazy behind? Who does that? And y'all laugh and giggle at the brother like it's funny. This brother it's nothing funny about that. It's nothing funny. And so it's time to push past the foolishness when dealing with such stupidity and ignorance and unstableness, when it's clear that this brother has a mental condition. And y'all keep pushing this brother out in the community, not realizing that this brother has a sickness. And any woman that got, he tried to talk about the sister who he went to go stay with, but she realized he wasn't about nothing. And he causes her a witch, but you a warlock. And then he'll come to you, oh, receive Jesus Christ. You ain't even received Jesus Christ. But she realized he wasn't. So let me click on this again so y'all can see this wicked brother right here. Look at this. Makes no sense. If we can get it played. I don't know why it won't play. Let me bag up out of it. See if it'll play now.
in the back chats more than me and this brother right here, right? That's how black people love to talk. The dagger frauds. Okay. Oh boy. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I was pretty much always a free agent. You know what I'm saying? In the black is Old Guard, Solomon. So anything that I've said and done, don't let that be a reflection on them. They run a media. You know what I'm saying? They open their platform too.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. In the black media is over. LeBron James first the Golden State Warriors now this. What's that? What? In the black media is back together? Gosh darn it. We have another clip, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. In the black media is back together. Let's watch this.
Hey, yo, did you fools really fall for that, yo? Y'all can't be serious right now. The reason why I got this thing tied around my head like that, because I feel like when Jason said, "It's hope with a God, I should be rapping with a turban." Did you really think I would leave in the black like that? I never left in the black, man. I played y'all. So you just made complete fools out of yourselves.
I'm in such a great mood now. This week, we have a new segment that we'll be doing every week. This is the sports segment of the...
Yo, that shit is crazy. That is crazy. All right. I got an idea.
The true one, I believe that it has been revealed to me through a dream and also revelation. This public announcement, and it's very unfortunate. It's very sad, but however, it's true. And it may not be true, but I have very strong evidence and revelation that it is going to be true. And that is Mikael Edwards of the Hebrew War Machine will no longer be with us within 6 months. Yes. Unfortunately, he has crossed the line, so to say, in terms of his actions in the universe is built upon Ma'at, is going to balance itself out and remove him from amongst the people. And it can't be stopped now, even by any regular human force. And I'm not saying I will have anything to do with this, nor am I celebrating his death. But unfortunately, the brother has brought it on himself. He has not studied the wisdom in the book that he studies. Unfortunately, Michael Edwards of the Hebrew War Machine will meet his death within the next 6 months. I will have nothing to do with this. Fortunately, he has disrupted some forces and people who can't be stopped. Human and inhuman. This goes beyond the regular people he has defended. There's others that have not taken a liking to what he's doing, and also the universal force of balance has decreed this upon him. And this is kind of like, just to give a short early eulogy, I think the brother did have a lot of mental issues. He was dealing with some things that's beyond our knowledge knowing, but I think he at some point did believe he might have been doing the right thing but because of misinterpretation, along with whatever else affected this brother, he turned out to be a very sick man who dug his own grave. So if you are someone who is close to him or likes him or has some camaraderie with him, I would get to know him very well within the last 6 months, speak to him as much as you can, converse with him, and enjoy the last 6 months of his life on earth, because he is not going to be around. Now, there's another person named LaRon Campbell, who I've been informed by the high priestess. She was unhappy with some of his actions. There was nothing I could do about it, but there's been a curse placed on LaRon Campbell. He has endangered his family, his wives and children. Within the next year or so, this man and his family will begin to suffer very unfortunate situations. Him, his wives, and his children will continuously begin to suffer from illness, financial loss, freak accidents, things, just everything to make his lives uncomfortable. His wife is going to be involved in, other affairs within the next year. Now, I had nothing to do with this curse. Now, I can't really say anything about this. I was just contacted after the brother was going through, disrespecting me often. I was having, I kind of rubbed him off. You know what I'm saying? Although he was crossing the line. So, this is others who've contacted me, these are high-ranking priest and priestess of, the voodoo tradition, so this is what they tell me. So this is, I had nothing to really do with this. I did not try to stop them either, but they told me this is what they was going to do. And the only way that Ron, and also those who were associated with him in his disrespect, they have their images and voices, and they've captured them all, and they're also going to suffer the same fate as LaRon Campbell, such as Alvin, that guy who's associated with him, the little guy Wayne, who took part in the video, the dude Kevin, who calls himself Yahweh, his family, his children, his wives will also suffer this within the next year. And everyone who took part in, unfortunately, under LaRon Campbell's umbrella. Now, this is what they tell me. Once these things start happening, the only way you'll be able to get out of this is if you publicly apologize, and each one of you will have to pay me at least $1,000 to break this curse. Now, it may sound crazy. Like I said, I didn't do it. I didn't put it together. But, these people that spoke to me don't seem like they're a joke. They're not like your, people on television that you see. Some of you know how these things work, how things work in the spiritual world. So what I suggest is that y'all better be filled with the Holy Spirit that you say. Because if you're slipping, man, y'all are in trouble, man. And there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about the inevitable death of Michael Edwards in the next 6 months. There's nothing I can do about LaRon Campbell's, Kevin, Wayne, and Alvin's, and also Basim. I almost forgot. Your family,
Can't forget Basim, huh?
The close ones will be affected. That I had nothing to do with that. That's something that, I guess you'll have to deal with in the spiritual realm. Say your prayers, but this is what I've been informed. So, you can either take your chances and believe, get right, because obviously, y'all not been living pure, so you might not have the protection you think you have. But either way, the way this stuff's worked, y'all are ignorant of it, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so you can either pay the $1,000 and make it a public apology, or you can take that fight on. But remember, that fight is not with me. You know, these are some very powerful people. Everything you fear is what they are, and they have put it on you. Pictures are on the internet, your voices, these are pieces of your soul. So, fortunately, you know, I had to make that announcement because some of the stuff I'm true, obviously, then you know it wasn't lies. I have nothing to, my hands have personally done none of this stuff. This is all, you know, in terms of Michael Edwards, just both sides. He's interrupted certain spiritual forces. He's spoken against certain people that have a lot of ties to other people, physically and spiritually. And so, you know, unfortunately, I don't think there's no chance for him. But in terms of Ron Campbell, Kevin, Alvin, Basim, and Wayne, and others that may have been associated, you know, they may have a chance if they paid $1,000 and make the public apology. But, you know, Mike, he disrespected some of the high priests. He disrespected some people he didn't even know that it's connected to, just basically, you know, street nigga shit. You know, he's not aware of who he's offended. So he got two sides to deal with, this horrible spiritual and the physical. But in terms of the other guys, you guys have a chance, you know. It's up to you in terms of how you take it. Your wives, family, and children are, you know, unfortunately got to catch some of the stuff that you caused. So good luck with that. And y'all have a nice day. And I wish you the best.
Oh my God. Now y'all know this was some years ago. Michael Edwards is still alive. Kevin G still alive. I'm still alive. And nobody gave him $1,000. You know, he sound like one of the guys that say, I'll pray over this cloth, and if you give me $1,000, you can have this cloth that I prayed over. It's going to keep you safe for the rest of your life. He just put one of those numbers, but in the reverse. There's no substance behind this brother's words. No power behind his words. And we can see why this vortex he just stays spinning in is not mounting up to nothing. Why he has this infinite spiral to him, to where he can't spin out of it. You know what I'm saying? Why he's just, you know, he's in derision, why he's dizzy all the time. He can't come up out of it, and we can see clearly that this brother is a false prophet, and he's still teaching false teachings today. I'm talking about from Marcion teachings and leading people right astray with doing it. This brother studied up under Dr. York. He's doing the same thing that Dr. York did. He plays like he gives you the message of Jesus and come to Christ, but his Christ is not Christ. He's preaching something else. We seen earlier, he was with Solomon. He was with, now he's back with him again, but he was with in the Black Radio. And he went over there just to get a platform. He leased off my platform in the past because he got mad at the Hebrew Israelites and because they didn't give him money that he wanted to resurrect some type of project on an idea that he had. And so he got mad, and so he came over to my platform. I gave him the platform, and he will, you know, he's a great manipulator. He manipulates a lot. He has agenda, and he manipulates. And he's a warlock. He has the spell on Solar Mind right now. Because that's what he's doing. This is why you can be in a conversation, or you can be doing a show with him, and he's steadily aggressive to the point to where he's basically bossing you around, or saying, hey, can you do this, or can you do that, or do this or do that. He's always taking in like the Red Sea. He's never giving out. Now, any brother that will put a video out like this and then somebody see it and don't say nothing about it should question themselves, where are they mentally? Because I knew then that this brother had a mental condition when he put this out. You go on to shamans and witches and warlocks and putting spells and curses on people. And you've been around for so long, and everybody, you should know that everybody don't take you serious. Why should they take Lex Vortex serious when everything that you've been doing since everybody have known you have mounted up to nothing? You have failed upon failures. There's no success about you. There's no foundation about you. And you still won't turn to Christ. Yeah, you'll try to preach it, but you don't believe it. And you wonder why you're in a situation to where you find yourself slipping and sliding and falling everywhere, and every place is a slopey place. And when you think you're getting your feet a hold of something, you've fallen again. Wonder why you can't be in a relationship. Why? Because after a while, the women who you be with begin to see right through you and say, this man cannot produce nor develop anything. So when a person begins to link themselves up with God, whatever they speak, this righteousness is lined up with God's word, it comes to pass. He said that if you take G consciousness and put him beside me, and we were talking, people will leave me and go over to leave him and go over to me to hear what I got to say, to hear what he has to say. And whoever will leave me to go and hear what Lex has to say will be a fool, because Lex has no power behind his words. He is powerless. He is useless. And he is a weak black man. And so then he says, well, LaRon, he hates black people. You lie, Lex. I love all people. I don't hate anyone, Lex. I'm pro-righteous before anything, Lex. I don't care what color you are. If you're doing wickedness, you're wicked. If you're doing right, it's right. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but any brother that's coming out and doing shows and taking pop shots at people and then saying I wasn't even speaking on him, you've been speaking on me. You've been having a jealous spirit on you. Why? Because there's no fruit behind what you speak, and you cannot pay the vows of your lip. Your production rate is super low. You can't build anything at this point. You're not a master builder. Everything that you come across, every people that you came in contact with, you've torn apart, torn to pieces, and destroyed it, and uprooted them, and they left out being in a worse condition than they was prior to before you met them. Why? Because you're weak and you have no power, and the power that you think that you have from Lucifer, even that is something that has consumed you and devoured you to where you're a fruitless person. And with all of that, you still won't turn and repent. And every time you look around, whatever you attach yourself to, it's always something with pure wickedness that's behind it. Always. You have all this power, Lex. You have all this, you can articulate good. You hip out here. Why is it that you can't produce the words that are coming out your mouth? Why is it that when you, if you're God, why is it that when you speak, nothing happens, Lex, at all? And you've been speaking for a long time. And I'm kind of tired of listening to you, yo, because you're not producing anything. Why is it that when we got brothers out here that really scream black power, that they are really demonstrating black power in the communities, because whatever they're speaking, they're doing. And they may not be believers, but they have attached themselves to something to where they feel that whatever they speak, they have to produce, and they can't keep saying stuff and there's no production. But you say you have a higher power. Well, if your power is higher than the power that God has put in me through the Holy Spirit, why is it, Lex, that you're not producing anything and there's production over here? Why is that, Lex? I don't ask anybody for nothing, Lex. I try to give to the people. And when you give to people, you don't have to ask for anything. Why? Because they're always willing to help you if they know that you're a giver and you're a sower. You understand that, Lex? That's how that works, yo. I don't give to get back, but I give because I want to help. That's why. If I'm watching somebody's platform, I should be able to donate to their platform. And even the very people that be cursing me out, I still give. But enough of that, because that means nothing. Why is it that these men raise themselves up that can speak great and always take away from the community? Never giving back to the community, never giving back to the people. Why is that? Why is it that they, if they're so great, they can't produce after their kind? You should be able to teach people and produce after your kind, because if you say that you're close to Christ, then you should be able to produce anointed ones by the power of Christ that is in you. Why can't you do that, Lex? Why? Because what you're attached to is so full of darkness, and there is no light. And the light that you proclaim to be is a false light, because you're a wolf dressed up in sheep clothing. So then you want to talk about when I show certain things that God is doing in my life with my family, you want to get jealous and want to get mad. That's bait, Lex. I'm putting that out there for a reason. You know why? Because when brothers hit me in the back chat and they say, what's going on with you? How is God blessing you? How can I obtain what you got? And I give them everything. You know what? I be so willing to help people out to wherever I learn this new that can help somebody else that has helped my situation. I'm right on it. I'm right on it. Hey, brother, I just got this trailer from over here, bro. You know, I did this and that, did this and that. You think that'll work for your situation? because I want them to have what I got. But I'm jealous of you. Plenty of times I done invited you to family events and say, hey, bro, I know already you ain't really got no family out there like that, or you really don't really deal with your family, but you got family over here. You in Israel doctrine. And you have not whatsoever been the big bruh like you proclaim to be. You're childish, you're immature. There's no Christ in you. And all you do is sit back and drain the life out of people and manipulate people. But you can change that, though. You can change that. You can turn, you can repent, and you can go back the other direction. And you can put your weaknesses, everything that you feel that's about you that has nothing, this nothingness, and give it up and turn to Christ. You can do that, Lex. Because what I found out is before I came into the revelation of this book, I was a person that always severed relationships, always was a failing. I was the type of person to where if I was walking down the steps, I'd be the one to fall. Because I was thinking about falling. And so I'll fall. But when you link up to Christ, all of that can change because you begin to view yourself different. But you view yourself in a false way, Lex. See, I view myself with a view of Christ in me. Because the image that I tried to be was a false image. And so I had to look at what the word was saying, what Christ was saying. And once I looked at what the word was saying, I became a reflection, and still to this day is reflecting of what the word is saying. Because it's a daily process. But when you begin to glorify yourself and you ain't about nothing anyways, it's clear why you will be in the position that you in. Because you're glorifying self, and your self is weak and you have no strength. And anybody that's relying on their own strength, especially when they know that they're a failure and try to detach themselves from the creator God, there's failure overall. That's the whole world, yo. The whole world is in failure because they can't link back up to the source, which is the manual to cause them to live and rebuild themselves again. That's why whatever we try to do scientifically, there's always something that comes behind it, a side effect. Why? Because you don't have the manual and you don't understand self. But the only way you can understand self is if you look at your creator that can give you the manual of self so you can rebuild self and repair self. But when you've been cut off from that which is holy because you want to try to establish your own righteousness, then it's clear why we're going to keep dying and keep getting destroyed. So, Lex, I don't know who you fooling, but you ain't fooling me. And I've been saying this the whole time. You need to produce something great in Christ. The reason why you don't have no peace about your situation is because you have no stability. So therefore you keep getting spit out. Nobody wants a person that is unstable in their ways and real emotional. Nobody can do nothing with that person. That is a dead body. That's dead weight. We talked about dead weight the last time. Eventually, dead weight will kill you off because it will stagnate you and you will be putrefated just as well dealing with it. This brother is useless. His words have no power. And only thing that he can do is cause you to be devoured. He's not trying to build. He's turned down. And maybe that is his assignment. Maybe that's what the dark one is called to do. We know Satan, that's his job. And so Satan has agents. Maybe he is an agent and he's called to basically tear you down and not build you up, because that's what he's doing. And so for you to sit on Solar Minds and try to go on me when everybody know, Lex, that you can't produce nothing and you have not done anything to help anybody out, and the only thing you do is beg for money. Give your money to me. I'll show you how to use it. Oh, that was my ideal. Well, if that was your ideal, when are you going to produce something and bring forth and birth that ideal out and keep it in cycle? When you going to do that, yo? When you going to do that, Lex? People are tired of being talked to, spoken of, lied to, betrayed. You haven't produced anything, yo. And everything that you ever tried to produce is somebody else's thing. You ain't put forth the money behind it, but you manipulated somebody to put forth the money behind it to help you with it. And you say, well, thanks for donating to Solar Mind or to the Lex Vortex. That's not your money. That's not even your panel. That's Solar Mind's panel. And then you say, when my doctrine get tested, then this is the way I act. No, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, yo. I don't act no other way. I've been saying this since the beginning, yo. If you look at them brothers who you named and who you named, them, I don't like to start stuff, but if you look at them brothers, look what they doing out here, yo. It's everything that's about fame. Everything is about getting the name. Everything is about giving them $1 so they can generate the cash. And they even also went the distance to corrupt themselves on a daily manner with dealing with people that are corrupted, that we know that are corrupted, that we know that don't mean no well in the communities. And they say that they bout the work of the Lord. They don't even speak on the Lord anymore. You've always been to and fro. I didn't say anything to you today in that chat room. You came out busting shots at me because you feel some type of way. Lex, I don't want you to be jealous of me, yo. You don't have to be. I've never made it to where I wanted you to be jealous of me. I've always made it to where we can be on the same plane, if not you more than what I am. Always. I don't want anybody to be jealous of me. I want them to have either what I got or either better, yo. I've always taught people, listen, even my little brother, don't do what I do. I'm going to show you a greater way in a short amount of time, and you can do it greater than me. So for you to say that I'm jealous of you for what? You don't produce anything behind what you say. You mock all day long and mock the things of God and mock the people of God and say that we're silly and we this and that, and you got all this high knowledge, but you're not producing anything where you're at. And the people who have really taken this book and utilized this book and looked at what it sets forth, they are producing. whether if it's on a spiritual, physical, every area of their life is being blessed. And I'm not saying that it's about what you have, because it's not. But if you saying that you have all this power and you saying that you have the truth, when are you going to produce something, Lex? What seed, whatever seed that you've sown, why isn't it flourishing? It's quite funny. You could tell everybody you got all these ideals, and everybody stole your ideals. Why is it that they took your ideals, what you said, utilized it, and put it forth to work? That tells us something about you, Lex. You have no power behind what you saying, and your words is useless, yo. You need to get it together, man. Because you're miserable, you run around and want to make other people's lives miserable. And saying that I'm hating on you. What I have to hate on you about? I want you to be blessed, bro. I ain't curse you, you curse me. I want you to be blessed. I want God to prosper you. I want to see you win. But I'm jealous of you. Never been jealous of you. I want you to be happy. You's a fool, and you's an old fool at it. I'm jealous of you. You sounded like a fool up in there today, and you should be ashamed of yourself, and you need to apologize, because since I've known you, the only things you have done is curse my family, curse me, and cursed everybody else, and I still loved you and took you back in and said, brother, I love you. Even when you came and apologized to me, and you did come and apologize to me, and I was done with you, and I said I was done with you, I accepted your apology then. Only for you to continue to keep doing it and taking slick shots at me, because you seen a post that I posted of what I was able to do something for my wife that I was not able to do prior to, due to the fact of the struggle. And also use clean money to do it. And then I put it out there to show people that they can accomplish what they need to do in Christ, or whatever that they choose to do. And they say that they want to do, they can accomplish that. If they believe in it, they can do. That don't stop with the believers. Especially if it's a righteous thing. That's a universal principle. And you gonna sit up there and say that I'm jealous of you. I don't hate you, dude. I hate the doctrine that you teach. Yeah, I want to slap the heck out of you, to be honest. It's a lot of people I want to slap. I want to slap the heck out of Yehukanan. But I still love the brother. I don't hate him. I think that he don't mean me well. But I don't hate that brother, though. So don't say I hate you or I'm jealous of you. That's crazy, yo. I ain't never, bro. I'm always, whatever information I get, if it's causing me to be blessed, I'm trying to make that happen, yo. Yeah, I get hot-headed. It get hot in there. But to say that I'm jealous of you, you didn't went too far, yo. You didn't lost your mind. And for Solomon to even sit there, and me and Solomon then got into it several times. We have heated discussions. We've been knowing each other the same time I've been knowing you. But one thing Solo would tell you, I ain't been saying nothing different since when I talked to that brother the first time. I've been saying the same stuff. And ain't switched up and saying it. The only thing I did now is that now I'm not just talking about it. I'm trying to accomplish on what I was saying back then. And I'm starting to see it come in the picture. The first thing I said when God began to bless me with and I began to get money, the first thing I said was, I told my wife, I said, babe, we're going to be able to bless a lot of people with this type of money. That's the first thing I said. That's the first thing I said. That was on my mind. It wasn't on my mind on how I can lie to the people and talk to the people and get $1 for them. It wasn't. That was never on my mind. When y'all was around here chasing AdSense and making YouTube videos just to get views and AdSense just to get money and creating these different pages, I was never doing that, yo. I never did that. I never monetized my page. And I'm not knocking you if you do monetize your page. I just didn't do that. And if somebody wants to do that, that's a great idea. I have no problem with that. But don't put me in that boat with you, dude. I never did that. And you say, well, I give so everybody. I don't have to do that, bro. I'm not a bad looking person. I don't have to do anything for anybody, bro. I don't need to be bro. I've been popular all my life, yo. All my life I've been popular. And I didn't have to do any. I was less fortunate. I didn't have nothing. I came from nothing. I've been from place to place. I've been in a situation that you've been in. The only thing was I decided to change my situation through Christ, by means of Christ. So when I heard the gospel, I applied it and I used it and I utilized it and I stayed tucked in and close to him, because anything that I do in my own strength, I always messed up, yo. Always messed up. And some days I still do lose a battle, but I got to get back up and I got to keep fighting, yo. And I've been from place to place, yo. I've been a vagabond. I can speak on what a vagabond is because I've been one. And when I had my family and I had my kids and my wife, I said that I will stabilize them. And I said that also that I will have stability and build my family and teach them something different than what I was taught. They won't have to experience what I've been through. And the only thing that they're going to have to do is sit up there and learn Christ, and that's it. When I die, they'll have an inheritance, or whatever the case may be. If I don't die, they still would have an inheritance regardless of the fact. And the only thing I ask them is to be obedient, yo. That's it, man. That's it. So to say that I'm jealous of you, you out of pocket, yo. You all the way out of pocket. And you need to get it right, yo. It may be some things that I disagree with certain brothers on the opposite side that don't believe in the Bible, but I took what they was teaching me far as when it comes to credit, far as when it comes to certain things, and I took that information and I helped out my situation and I helped out my family to get us up out of a situation to where we don't have to be in poverty. So I'm trying to build something, and I ain't arrived yet. But I know that if I'm talking about something and I see that my heart is big for people, then I got to have accumulate some type of wealth to help people out. So, brother, don't sit up here and be playing around and thinking it's a game out here. It's not a game. I took stuff that these brothers we'd be sitting back in the back chat talking, right? And I'd be sitting back working at the same time. I'm listening to these brothers talk. Brothers from Team Osiris, Garfield now. You know what I'm saying? Even MBK that's in the chat room. Stuff that I took that I said I could use that. You know what I'm saying? And we used to go at each other, curse each other out. I mean, not curse, but use foul language in the back chat, talk crazy to each other. They'll tell you. But yet and still, I sat back there and I said that I'm going to take some of this stuff that they got, because there's some truth behind a lot of this stuff when it comes to how you able to build out here. And that's what I did. And I'm still doing it. And so, like for instance, Kansu told me something some months ago when I built the business, and he's still sticking with me. And he'll tell you, I'll come back to him when it's time for me to get around to it. I was like, now, what was you saying about that? Because I'm ready to put that in place now. Why? Because I know it's going to take some type of currency if I got these ideas and if I want to help people. I want to get off into the place to where I got the finances to where if somebody got a great idea that's going to build, that's going to be able to do some things, I like to back that. I like to get behind that. Why? Because I know it's about kingdom cash flow. Circulating that money. Mainly to those that's believers first before anything, because you got to take care of your believers first before anything, and then also your outsiders just as well too. There's divine connections there. There's divine connections. I don't discriminate. So for you to say that I'm jealous of you, I was really disgusted with that, yo, because I've never been that. It's always been about, brother, I want to see you blessed. And then when I first helped you out in your situation, bro, I didn't ask you to go back and tell anybody, and I didn't tell anybody. Same thing with Israel Doctrine. Y'all got to telling people, and usually time I had to tell people, if I do something, don't be telling people I did something, leave it at that. I don't like when people do that, yo. And I've told them openly, hey, bro, don't say that, don't say, don't do that, yo. Why? Because a lot of times, sometimes people take it to on another level. I never asked you to do that, yo. You did that yourself because you felt some type of way. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I can get on my stuff too just as well. And I tell you, when I'm weak in something, that's the moment I need to rely on God. You sat up here, bro, and you cursed us. What was that? That was what? That was some years ago. You cursed us with a grievous curse. Cursed our families, yo. You cursed our family. You cussed. You told me you told everybody live that you would kill my kids. That's what you said. Live. You called my wife a whore and all types of stuff. This dude is 40 plus doing this. But I'm jealous. The same kids in my family that you cursed is the same family that I always said, bruh, you can come with us, bro. We're gonna be chilling this, that. Come on now. I get you a ticket to come out. And y'all brothers ain't did nothing but cross me the whole time. And yeah, I might get upset and get some get back. And I'm not saying that's right, because it do be wrong. And I've stated that in the past. But just remember, you took the shots first, and I bust back at you. And you wasn't ready for what I bust back at you was, but you played it dirty, so I played it back dirty with you. Yeah, that happened. But I never went around saying that this dude is dumb. I think you're a bright individual. Now, where I think you dumb at is that you try to contradict yourself and you be turning against Christ and lying on what this book is saying about Christ. You're a liar, yo. And then you like to associate yourself with darkness and some type of false light. Isaiah 14 is not talking about Christ, yo. Stop using that, yo. And really, you the religious nutcase out of everybody, because you talk religion, you steal everything from the Bible, you try to spiritualize it to where you're no earthly good, to where there's no literal truth that's coming up out of it. There should be a literal truth behind your spirituality. You don't even have that. This is why you could talk about figurative things, but then you can't produce nothing in the physical realm. You don't understand that the spirit should be bringing stuff into the material realm. So if a man think, so is he. So then you want to talk about that, but what are you materializing? This is why when we look in the garden, we can see that this is a spiritual and a physical thing that is taking place here. Why? Because he's spiritual and he's physical. And so if he's not together spiritually, how can he produce mentally? That's simple, yo. These are simple principles. And you want to walk around here like you invincible. Talking about you got the light. What light you got? Because whatever light you got, I don't see you guiding anybody to no type of truth to build anything, yo. You went from Kemet, like they said, to some type of Christian mystic, Luciferian, and then you was the Sith Lord or the Seth Lord. Then you was a shaman Buddhist monk. You was a Shaolin monk where you was wearing all orange with these straw hats and teaching with your shirt butt naked, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook with no shirt on. Where we called you preaching Ezekiel. Remember that? Michael Edwards supposed to have been dead back in 2014. He's alive today. And he's not dead. So you lied and you cursed us and you used a witch to do that. And you need to repent because you remember what Saul did when he did that. So don't play with me, Lex. Sitting up there talking about I'm jealous. I ain't never been jealous of you, dude. Never. I ain't never been jealous of nobody. I'll help anybody, yo. Anybody. If you call me and you say, LaRon, I needed this and I had it, I will help anybody, yo. I can't help everybody because I'm not rich. And people have helped me. And with them helping me, it has made me help other people. It's brothers in here that's on this panel that have helped me financially and looked out for me to where I didn't know how I was gonna make ends meet, and they looked out for me. So you out of pocket, yo, and for you to be thinking that I'm jealous of you, bro, you have lost your mind. And then talking about I give just to be in. Man, please. You see what listen, I give and still talk crazy about you. You better ask Solar now. I don't hide nothing. I sit up on the panel and say Solar's silly. Solar's mindset is silly. He's stubborn as hell. Solar's stubborn, man. He's an older guy. He's stubborn. He need to get it together. But at the same time, I've been saying that since the longest, getting into with Solar about that. I don't hate Solar. I listen to his show. I donate to his show. I donate to the panel. He'll tell you that. It's openly. I hit that button right there on the button and I give to the channel. Why? I sit up there and I watch his channel. I learn some things from Solar. I learn some things also from people that's teaching on the channel. I don't just sit back and just say, oh, I'm just going to look at Christian things all day. Because I know that there's certain things that Christians do not teach that they should be teaching, but we don't teach. It's certain things I learned with dealing with the Amarat Squad. I would have never known certain things that I would have known to even defend the truth if it had not been I encountered those brothers. Now I can look at those teachings and say there is some truth behind there, but the things that I see that was false, I'm able to take those things and utilize those things, even the things that I know that is the truth, and able to defend what I see when it comes to this book, when it comes to the truth, because I believe that this is the truth. I didn't bang with the conscious community. I didn't bang with the Christian community. I didn't bang with the Israelite community. I didn't bang with white Jews, you know what I'm saying? White Israelites, whatever the case may be. Whatever that it was, and I felt that it wasn't, I didn't win against it. I ain't perfect. It's doctrines that people didn't got on me about. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't defend it, then I have to change my stance on it. It's a lot of junk that's in the Christian communities that need to be retaught again. A lot of false teachings. In the majority of Christendom, there's a lot of false teachings, and the majority of the world, there's a lot of false teaching. This is why we see that everybody ain't gonna be in the face of the Father like that. Why? Because of these very things, and people are falling away. So don't say that I'm jealous of you, bruh. You have lost your mind, bruh. I ain't jealous of nobody. Matter of fact, I be trying to do stuff to where, I try to promote what people doing, and then make it so bad I don't be want to step on their toes. I'm saying, even though I know I can probably do it better than them, but I won't do it due to the fact of, because I don't want to step on their toes. I try to give them the idea so they can make their stuff better. I sit back and I be watching y'all while I be driving, yo. I be watching everybody while I be driving. Yeah, I be trolling. I can troll you too. But I'm going to let you know I'm right there trolling you. I ain't got no separate accounts. I'm going to let you know I'm watching what you're saying, and I'm going to teach on what you're saying about the other day. I'm saying, and still can be cool with you at the same time, but I'm still going to tear down that false doctrine, though. So you out of pocket, bro. I've sat there in that truck and cried out to God for everybody, yo. Everybody in this world, hurting, the pain, and asking God we need him. We need him, first of all. We need him, you know what I'm saying? I've done that, yo, and still do it. And if you ain't cried for your people, or you ain't cried for human beings in general, then you don't know what it means to be attached to people, and to a hurting and a dying people in a dying world. I don't care if I seen them doing some wicked stuff. I question, why do they do stuff like that? Then I had to look back and say, look at the wickedness that I was doing before Christ came into my life. I was doing a lot of wickedness out there. Mistreating women, you know what I'm saying? Using them up, all types of stuff, yo. All types of stuff. Robbing, stealing, gang banging, selling drugs to my people, you know what I'm saying? Selling drugs to all type, all of that type of stuff. And it wasn't until even back in the days, my mindset was I was offered to the Israelite thing, to where I was doing the same thing that they was doing out there on those corners, or either talking to people, talking against white people and talking against Africans, because I felt like that the Africans sold us into slavery, and the white people also too, just as well. And so it was hatred towards them. But in reality, I had to realize to where I had to do what the book was telling me to do. These people are in a condition to where they being deceived. And so I have to overall make intercession for them people overall before anything, because God might save them people if they turn. Because he can do that. He can deliver you up out of your sin if you repent and turn away from it. That's not to say you might not suffer the repercussion behind what you did, because you're going to have to face that situation. But at the same time, that gives you some type of eternal security about yourself. Yeah, you're going to have to reap some of those things that you did. Because you just can't say, well, I repented this and this and that. Nah, you're going to have to go through some problems. Paul went about, and Paul repented to the Lord, and he got saved and he got delivered. But what happened to Paul? Paul, every place he went, them Jews was following him, doing the same thing that he was doing to those Christians. The same thing they was doing. That was the sickness that was in his flesh. They was whooping his behind. That was the thorn. I'm sorry, that was in his flesh. They kept whooping this behind. It wasn't a sickness. It was a thorn in his flesh. And what that was, it was a messenger to where that messenger followed him and sent them people up against him every chance that he got. Every chance that messenger got is, and the reason why it was done, that he may not he may not exalt himself and because of the revelations that he had, and plus also because what he was doing in the past, chasing people around doing the same thing that they was doing it to him. So stop playing these games. Talking about, I'm jealous of you. Dude, I ain't never been jealous of you. Now, where you got that from? I want to see you doing good. But with that being said, that's all I got to say. So you need to get it together, man, and stop out here acting like the Sith Lord. And you need to come to the real life with light, which is Jesus Christ. And grace and peace to y'all. Y'all keep Lex in y'all prayers. And I'm going to definitely keep the brother in my prayers. And I could have got on her and could have really just did you dirty and talk bad about you in a sense to where I talked about your appearance, talked about all those type of things. I'm not even going to play with you like that. Because I don't know where you get that I'm jealous of you at. And that's pure foolishness unto me. Who was that? Sankofa. He said the father sends thugs to beat you up and you out of line. Yeah, the fathers will allow somebody to come and whoop your behind real fast. I mean, that's just clear. He calls all the orders and shots just as well too. Yeah, this is the same video where it's the same video where if you look at it, this is Garfield's page, and so I went and I on Garfield's page and I used Garfield's page to put this up. You know what I'm saying? To share this, because somebody what they did was they grabbed this. They grabbed it a long time ago. I never grabbed it. I a lot of stuff that I did on Lex, I deleted off my page because he was going to get my page shut down. And plus we had talked about it, and so I deleted the stuff. And plus so these people, they kept that stuff. Whatever you put on this internet, people keep that stuff. They can record it, and even though you may go and delete it, they still got it. And that's what this person did. They kept the stuff and kept a record of it because they really wanted to see down the line if this stuff came to pass, was this true or not? And also they say that it was just pure foolishness that he was putting out there. It's just a silliness. And so when you look at stuff like this, you look and you say, this person has a psychological problem now. Something ain't right about this person. And so we've been saying this the whole time. And so then you want to say, well, this person may need to see somebody because you saying this stuff and then you unstable. So mentally we can see that there's a problem there now. And we can see all the different phases that you've been through. So it makes me wonder, maybe is you on some type of pills, or do you have some type of disorder to where you a schizophrenic or something, to where you have these different personalities? Because one minute you with the TBN thing, the next minute, you know what I'm saying, you hate God. And so it becomes to where it is a psychological thing, and really there's really no pills that can help you with this. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that you could come and get up out of this. Me personally, I think that Christ can get you, get your mind stable with this. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, this brother has these different mentalities. And as you can see, one minute he's preaching Christ hard. And we can actually see these characteristics of Lex there openly. Then he's this comic book character. He's the Sith Lord. You know what I'm saying? he's then he's this righteous Christian off of TBN one minute, and then the other minute, he's a Marcionist. God is evil, or this and that. So he has these different things about himself, and the other minute he was comedic, you know what I'm saying, and then he was agnostic, and then he was an atheist. And so there's these different phases that he go through, and it seems like it changes with the moon cycles or something like that, or with the sun days or seasons, to where this brother is changing up and switching up depending on, based upon what he go through. But really what happens is it's a spiritual thing. He's spiritually immature. What happens is when a person faces the circumstances in their life, and once they trusted God and they see, well, God has not delivered me about this situation, then they begin to doubt God. And so when they doubt him, then that's when they begin to teach differently. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case with everybody, because everybody don't believe in God. Everybody might not might doubt another situation, or doubt somebody that's been in their life, and so somebody might have let them down. So because that person let them down, what they do is they have no faith in nobody else, or they can't trust anybody, you know what I'm saying, or their relationships don't work out because the first relationship that they was in didn't work out with somebody else. I'm saying, so these are the very things that we see that go on in life. But all of these things that we see are really universal. Is based upon how you able to construct yourself as an individual, whatever tool that you're going to use. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think the best tool to use is the biblical text and Christ's words. But to somebody else, they might build their premise on something else, and it might work to ultimately, they realize that there's always a failure there, because we always have a failure about ourselves and we come up short. But for the most part, the shortness that we come up short in is really in showing us that we still need something else that's beyond us, which is the creator. I'm saying we still need that. We need that. Whether if it's scientifically, we always trying to search out what is the origin of us? Where do we come from? I'm saying, how can we fix these things? Well, that comes to connecting back to the source. And if we don't connect back to that source, what happens is we begin to always fall short. We always fall short. And so, that's the thing there, man. Solar gassing them up. I'm saying, yeah, solar gassing them up, and Lex Vortex is very controversial. I'm saying, so he gassing them up. So solar, I'm saying, he probably with the drama, but at the same time, this stuff has to stop. Even with dealing with Israel doctrine, I'm saying, that's another brother we got to look at. This brother don't talk about the Bible no more. He spent his whole life doing the same thing that he felt that Michael Edwards is doing to him. He's doing the Hassan Campbell, and the brother don't even teach the Bible no more. He was teaching the Bible, and I used to watch his shows. It was a great thing. But now every time you look around, he's talking about Hassan Campbell, and he can't even, that's ridiculous, man. Like, he's gotten so far away, and we've watched him get so far away to where he can't even help himself anymore. He talked about Sinetta and them so much to where these guys have, this is his gods. These are his gods. Sinetta and also Hassan Campbell. Every time you look around, he talking about Hassan Campbell, what's going on in the media. This they lifestyle, yo. The internet has become their lifestyle to where they're using these things to basically get this popularity or this fame. And say they trying to help the community. You ain't helping the community getting on here talking about silly stuff. Dude selling themselves for YouTube views, like the brother said, facts on. And then you start to wonder why you watch people. When you watch people, I'm gonna definitely check this Psalms 37 out, Sister Cherry. When you watch people, what's going on, Christ Sheep? What's going on, everybody in the chat room? DB, Kevin G, I see y'all. Face of y'all. Facts on it. Who else we got in here? Rogan Black. What's going on with y'all? Sister Lita, Seneb Sankofa. Seneb Sankofa said there's no need for a devil then. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think that you gotta understand, Seneb Sankofa, you got children, or if you don't got children, it's like sometimes even in your stubbornness, God will use you. Even while you're stubborn, he will use you. Even in your stubbornness, even in your disobedience. And sometimes that would be the mercy that he will have to show that he is long suffering. That while even you're a stubborn people or stiff-necked people, God will still use you. Now, what's the thing about that is he will use you for your destruction or for your building up. But either way it goes, he's going to be glorified through it. Why? Because his main thing is to make sure souls are saved. So he's not a person like where he sees something and he just throw it away. He may see, how can I use this to build up or even to tear down? He's sovereign. He's sovereign in doing that. And so when you even look at how when he says that I created evil, when it says that I created evil, what you must understand is that word right there is Ra. That means calamity, misfortune, displeasure. So when you look at that, whenever what you would think, but why did God create evil? Why would he create evil? Well, anytime that God has given a person a choice, and that person could choose to do otherwise besides what he told them to do, then he must bring a punishment on them. That's evil. This is why he says he will bring the evil day on you. So the very people who you trust in, which is wickedness, he will allow them to even come up against you and give them and release his hands off of you so they can come and get you. It says God will send an evil spirit on somebody. You know why he does that? He allows that spirit, or he will send that spirit as a hitman to take you out. Why? Because you finna do something in this earth that's finna cause somebody else to be taken out, who is in very importance to establish what he needs to be done, or that his purpose may stand in the earth. So he will use people in their disobedience to bring about his accomplishment. But guess what? He's not causing them people to do that. It's already in them to why they doing that. They're doing it for the simple reason that they're evil, and so because they're evil, God will release his hands off of you because you're doing wickedness, and will allow them to overtake you and get the victory over you. Appreciate that, facts only. So everybody might sit back and have their opinion about me. I've been saying the same thing. They may call me all types of coons and that because they see I hang with white people, I hang with different sorts of people, as or whether they Christians or whatever the case they may be. But really, I'm pro-righteous before or everything, and I've been saying that this whole time. I ain't been saying nothing different. I have views about white people. I have views about black people. I have views about every other culture and race of people. And to be honest, I think that the majority of people is wicked as hell. And I'm not wrong for thinking that. So when he says, I don't like black people, you a lie, bro. I just know that me as being a black person in my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, what I experienced as growing up as a gangbanger, growing up out here in these streets. So therefore, I had an experience where I can't trust anybody, and that's even including the people that is my color. So therefore, that's what I teach. I don't look at people because they color what they are. I judge them by the manner of what they produce, their spirit. If they got a foul spirit, I know not to deal with them. Now, there's certain things that you can look at and say, I got to be careful of that, because we know that sometimes things can be racially profiled. In all honesty, we sometimes we can see that has to happen, but we can't do that often. In other words, that shouldn't be the way that we judge people. Like if I see a white person, you know what I'm saying, this got on a certain type of things that he got on his skin, I have to judge that and say, well, this brother, I think this brother probably be, he might be a racist because he got these symbols on him. I need to be careful of that. You know what I'm saying? Or I might see a black person, you know what I'm saying? He might be pushing something, and I look at it and say, I gotta watch out for this brother because he's pushing this type of hate stuff. And I'm not really about that. You know what I'm saying? I know that I have to um be an intercessor for all people. All people. Because whether or not you killing on a larger scale or a smaller scale, you still killing and destroying people. And that's all races. At the end result of that is you still destroying and killing people. You may didn't kill as much people, but you killed somebody and you did it unrighteously. And I've always said that, yo. I haven't changed that stance, and Solar would tell you that. Solar Mind will tell you that. If you go back and you listen to me, I always said I'm pro-righteous before anything. I'm pro-righteous before any. My wife will tell you. My wife, she be wanting me to be with her when she be wrong on some things. She'll tell you, hold on for a minute. I ain't with you on that. I can't be with you on that, wifey. I love you. I can't be with you on that. And she be mad. But then when she realized that, she know that I was right, she'd calm down. But I can't be with you on some unrighteousness. I don't expect you to be with me on some unrighteousness. If you're not man enough or woman enough to come and tell me when I'm doing something wrong, and I may get mad about it. I might say, "Oh, you tripping this and that." I might, get offended. But at the same time, guess what? You right. That person was right. And I come back and say, you was right about that. I may have got mad on that, but you was right. His brothers didn't come to me and said some stuff, and I was like, "Oh, whatever, man. I ain't trying to hear none of that." But later on, I come back to him and I say, "You was right about that, man. I repent." I'm saying I should never did that. I'm saying I should never did that. I know that I know y'all already know that I can get to tripping already. It's open that I can get to trip, but when it comes to, am I saying something different that I ain't been saying before? I've been saying the same thing. And not only that is, I've been producing on what I've been saying. You could go back and you could look back then, and then you could look at where I'm now. You could say, yeah, that brother is progressing. He's progressing. You can go back and you can look at it. But in the progression, I ain't changed up what I've been saying. Yeah, I've learned certain things. I've dropped certain things, but I've been saying the same stuff, yo. The essentials, I've been saying it. I ain't never gave that up. I've been saying that. They'll tell you that. And listen, from either when you deal with Ron Shields, even when you deal with the Christians, they'll tell you, I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. I'm gonna tell you that. You can even ask Solar now. They'll tell you. I'll be on the panel and he'll kick me off the panel. I'll be laughing, but he know I ain't finna. I'm not. Solar already know, bro. I'm not finna hold my tongue for you just because you a judge. I'm gonna say what I got to say. I think you silly when it comes to this Bible, and you need to stay out of it. And if you want to argue that, you want to have a debate about it, we can do that. And have a discussion, we can do that. Even in the argument league, they'll tell you, they'll be over there talking about me like a dog. I sit up there, joke with him and everything, but I don't care. I come right in the room and get it cracking. Like, what's cracking? Like, who you want the beef? Who want it? I hear y'all in here talking. You gonna defend your position? If I'm in there and I call you, you acting sorry right now. You acting silly right now. You acting weak right now. You know what I'm saying? It may be a scuffle. I'm not saying that it's all righteousness because it's not. But at the same time, I'm letting you know, hey, look, bro, like, hey, this what it is. That's what it is. I'm about as urban as it get when it comes to being an apologist. My style is urban, yo. Look, I don't know nothing but the hood way to come and win people to Christ. You may do it a certain other way. You might be able to speak with elegance. You might be able to articulate way better than what I can articulate. I'm saying, and if I ain't winning people to Christ, which I'm always trying to do, I'm still giving them information to where when they stand before the Creator, whatever, that information was given unto them. Everybody stay in their lane when it comes to how they dealing with people. I'm saying I've been over there dealing with people on another level in certain areas. I come over here, I deal with people on certain level in certain areas. That's how I deal with it. I'm saying, but overall, guess what? People getting delivered, and if they ain't getting delivered, guess what? When they stand before the Creator, they're gonna be able to say they can't say they did not know because it was told unto them. And that's the same that goes for me. I'm saying it's always somebody coming to me, talking to me about something to where I can improve myself. I'm never to the point to where I can't improve. I might be missing some things. But yeah, you know. But yeah, I definitely can get it popping and you know and what's called. But for the main things, you know, I like to, you know, have discussions with people. It's only a few people that I talk to. You know what I'm saying? It's a few people I talk to. You know, mainly if I ain't on the phone with my wife, I'm in the chat room or in these hangouts with these brothers. Everybody know that. I'm saying I'm mainly in these chat rooms or either, you know what I'm saying, I'm working. But I be in these chat rooms a lot, you know what I'm saying, as far as on live a lot, we be live a lot, you know what I'm saying? I be watching these brothers when they be doing their debates, when they be having a what's calls. That's what I be doing. I'm saying the whole time. But yeah, Lex, I don't want you to be sitting there thinking I'm jealous of you, brother, because I'm not. And with that being said, grace and peace to the family out there. I appreciate y'all watching in. And what's up, Justin, man? 400. And I will holler at y'all in a minute.